Alright, today I'm going to make my NASCAR silly season predictions for the 2021 season. But before I get into that, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Barry Griggs, Mr. Joseph Dunn, Mr. Mike Pace, and Mr. Todd English. And in honor of that, for all that stuff they gave me, I am doing a giveaway. And how do you enter this giveaway? Many of you might wonder. Well, it's simple. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, and I'll check that when I pick a winner. And all you got to do is comment down below who you think is going to win the race tomorrow. And if you get it right, you get the same shirt I'm wearing. It's a super comfortable Diet Edge t-shirt. You got an engine behind it. It's so cool of a t-shirt. And yeah, all you got to do is go down below and type in anything's going to win, and you get that win it. It's an awesome t-shirt. So let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
All right, here, starting off with the number 2 Team Penske Ford Mustang. Right now is driven by Brad Keselowski. Entering the season, I would have thought Brad Keselowski was heading to somewhere different in 2021 because the issues with the past with his teammate Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney here and there, they just haven't been getting along. But as the season keeps on going on, Brad Keselowski is starting to become more of the top big 3 drivers. The big 3 right now, in my opinion, is Hamlin, Harvick, and Keselowski. And I have a hard time believing Brad Keselowski is going to leave Team Penske after how good he's doing this season. Do I think he's going to stay there forever? I don't think so, but I think he's going to stay there for at least another year. Maybe just a 1-year contract, who knows. They might keep Austin Cindric in the Xfinity Series for 1 more year, and that might work out perfectly. But I do not think Brad Keselowski goes anywhere in 2021. All right, here. Next is going to be the number 6 car, which is now owned by Jack Roush, which is a Mustang. And Ryan Newman is the current driver of this car. But I do not think Newman returns to the number 6 car in 2021. I possibly think he can go down to the Xfinity Series, or he can get a promotion. And the promotion, I think, could possibly be the 42. I'll get to that in a bit. But I got Chase Briscoe replacing him. Chase Briscoe is on a roll in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He's won 5 races so far. I'm filming this during the Texas race, but he might win 6. Who knows? But as of now, he's got 5 wins this season, and he's obviously going to the Cup Series next year. You really can't argue with me about that. But I think he's going to replace Ryan Newman in that 6 car. I think he's going to race a year or 2 in that equipment. If he does good, he'll get the promotion to Stewart-Haas Racing, but we'll see how things go there. So I got Chase Briscoe replacing Ryan Newman for the 2021 season in the number 6 car. All right, here. Next is the number 10 car, which is right now driven by Erik Amarola. By far, this is the easiest thing I had to predict. I think Erik Amarola is going to stay with Stewart-Haas Racing without a doubt. He's bringing the sponsorship, and he's also bringing home some top 10 finishes. He's on a roll, 6 top 10s in a row. He went 5 top 5s in a row, but last week at Kentucky, he did not get the top 5 he was hoping for, but he did finish 8th, which is a top 10 finish. And I guess you can say 6 top 10s in a row is pretty good, I guess you can say. Heading into Texas, where he's starting on the pole tomorrow, and then Kansas and then New Hampshire. He's got some good tracks coming up. He's going to win a race, and you really can't argue with me about that. So I think Erik Amarola is going to stay in the number 10 car for the 2021 season. I don't think it's going to be forever. I think it's just going to be maybe 1 to 2 years at the most. But yeah, that's my prediction. All right, here. Next is the 14 car, which is right now driven by Clint Bowyer. And Clint Bowyer is right now on a really, really hot seat because he's got to perform up. He's wanting to keep this ride in the 2021 season. But as the days go on, he's not becoming as relevant as he was in the past. He's my favorite driver, but it's kind of hard to see him running 15th to 20th every weekend in a Stewart-Haas car. It's a bad feeling. But I think he's going to leave Stewart-Haas Racing at the end of the season and probably go to the NASCAR Fox Sports booth to call the races. He's done a phenomenal job so far this year, in the past couple years, I was going to add to that. He's been pretty good at calling these races, so he's got a good future in that. But going to be a heartbreaker to see him leave Stewart-Haas Racing, which is it's reality. He's going to have to leave at some point in time, but he's not getting the job done. He's not bringing home top 10s and top 5s and wins. And who's going to replace him? It's going to be Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson was recently suspended by NASCAR. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, I think he's going to come out of suspension and replace Clint Bowyer in 2021. All right, next, I think this is going to start off the whole silly season. It's going to be the 20 car, which is right now driven by Erik Jones. If Erik Jones can somehow stay in the number 20 car for the 2021 season, it's going to make things more obvious as the days go on. Because that's going to make Christopher Bell in the 95 car for at least another year. Daniel Suarez in the 96. So, but you know what though? I don't think Erik Jones is going to stay around. I think Erik Jones is going to be on the move. And I think Christopher Bell is going to take this ride over in 2021. All right, next is the 21 car, which is right now driven by Matt DiBenedetto. The DiBenedetto is currently inside the top 12 in owner points. And owner points this year has been a lot more key, I guess you can say, in recent years, because if you're inside the top 12 in owner points, you're starting top 6 rows in a race. So you're obviously going to be racing up front for quite a while, and you're going to get some stage points, which stage points are important if you're trying to make a playoff run. And the DiBenedetto, I think, is going to make a playoff run, and the Wood Brothers team organization is going to decide to keep him for at least another year, and maybe for a long time. We'll see how things go there, but the DiBenedetto ain't going nowhere. All right, next is the 42 car. This ride right now is currently possessed by Matt Kenseth. But Matt Kenseth, I don't think he's going to return. It's not because his talent by any means. I don't think he's going to want to return. He said he had a hard time saying yes to this, I guess you can say, question from Chip Ganassi when all the Kyle Larson situation happened. Because of scheduling, he's wanting to spend time with family. So I have a hard time believing Matt Kenseth will return to the Cup Series in 2021 for at least full time. So I think Ross Chastain is going to replace him. But I got to add, though, Ross Chastain, as of July 17th or 18th, he hasn't done really anything in the Xfinity Series it's been spectacular. I guess you can say he's won Daytona last year, won the Las Vegas race a couple years back, made it to the Final Four in the Truck Series last year, but he hasn't been showing me anything at these short tracks, intermediate tracks, and those are tracks that you have to be good at to race in the Cup Series. So I still think he gets to the 42 car, but there goes that. All right, next is the 48 car, which is right now driven by Jimmie Johnson. In early January, Jimmie Johnson announced that 2020 was going to be his last season racing full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series. And a lot of speculation has been going around who is going to replace him. At first, it was Brad Keselowski, and then second was Noah Gragson. And then Noah Gragson hasn't been really doing too much in the Xfinity Series since the Bristol race. And that leads me to think, who's going to replace him? I have a hard time believing they're going to bring up someone young. They're going to get a Cup Series driver, and it's going to be Erik Jones. Erik Jones is right now driving the 20 car, and he's got a couple wins in the Cup Series, but I think he's going to go over to Hendrick Motorsports and possibly race the 48. I doubt they'll give him the 48, maybe the 5 or 25. You get the point, though. He's going to replace that ride at Hendrick Motorsports in the 2021 season. Next is the 95 car, which is right now driven by Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, like I said earlier, is going to get the big promotion to Joe Gibbs Racing in the 20 car. But I think Daniel Suarez is going to leapfrog the 96 car to the 95 car for the 2021 season. The 96 right now is driven by Daniel Suarez. And Suarez is doing really good for the equipment he's got. He is not racing in top-notch equipment by any means, but he is getting the most out of that equipment. So he's obviously going to get a promotion next year. But who is going to replace him? It is going to be Mr. Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones is racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series full-time for Joe Gibbs, and he's raced there for Gibbs organization for quite a while. But you got to add, he has raced for RCR in the past, so his day is coming. And I think it's going to be next year. He's going to get the 96 ride and possibly become a contender in that car. We'll see how things go there. But there's my prediction. With all that prediction said, here are the top 5 drivers that are going to be without a ride for the 2021 season. Number 1 is going to be Clint Bowyer. Number 2 is going to be Ryan Newman. Number 3 is going to be Austin Cindric. Number 4 is going to be Noah Gragson. And number 5 is going to be Justin Haley. But those are my top 5 drivers that I think are not going to have a ride for the Cup Series next year, for at least full time. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe. And comment down below who you think is going to win Texas. If you get it right, you get this shirt. Peace.